afternoon, YouTube family. So this video is about 4 months late. It is my Atlanta Pin Show haul, and I need to start using some of this stuff that I have. So the Atlanta Pin Show was in April, the first weekend of April 2025. This is my third year. Yes, this is my third year going to the Atlanta Pin Show. I decided after this year's show, I live in Atlanta, but it's always fun for me to stay at the show hotel because you're at the hotel, so you're there for all of the evening events. And although I live about 20 minutes from the hotel, it's also a thing of I'd have to go through like 3 different counties to actually get home. I'm a big proponent of not driving when you're intoxicated, and you're going to be intoxicated. So I just decided to stay at the hotel. However, this year, I was able to book a better rate than the show rate was. So I did that, not really thinking about the additional fees and everything that was going to come with that. So I ended up having to pay $17 a day to park. And then Sunday, I checked out late, and that was another $45. So essentially what I paid in parking. Oh, someone was at the show with me on Saturday, so they required me to pay parking for 2 cars. So that was basically $34 for one day, $17 for another day, and then $45 for the late checkout on Sunday. So it really just did not benefit me to stay at the hotel. That being said, I decided that this year was my last year attempting to do 2 or 3 days at the Atlanta Pin Show. It's not a large show, and then just attend the show on Saturday, and if possible, do the pin show after dark. If I choose to stay for the pin show after dark, I'll probably just take an Uber home. It's just more convenient for me to do that than to pay whatever the hotel's rate is. Because there's always a way to find a cheaper rate. But of course, when you start adding in parking and tax and fees, etc., it just forces you to have to, pay more anyway. So one of the things that I picked up, as you will see, a lot of this stuff has not been used. I have really got to start not buying everything that I see you guys posting online or just because it piques my interest. So one of the things that I am going to force myself to use soon is this Pilot Parallel Pen. A lot of times on other people's videos, I see where you all have taken the nib and put it in other pens. I'm probably just going to play with this as is and kind of get familiar with what you guys actually are using it for. I am looking forward to the Pilot Parallel Pen. If you have watched my hashtag didn't go to the DC Pin Show video, you have seen already the Leonardo Memento Magico in Amethyst Sand. And then also I have this Edson, which is in Cream Soda. Again, both of these pens were bought in April. I haven't inked them up, and I think I'm just going to be on a no buy. I have bought something that I'm going to feature on a video. Again, I've got to stop buying stuff and then just not using it for months and months and months. So stay tuned for a future video for a pen that I bought. I'm excited about it because it's my first flex nib. But, you know, let's not talk about that since we're not here. But again, like I said, if you saw the I Didn't Go to DC pin show, you've seen both of these pins already. You know that I haven't used them. This Edson's pen is in cream soda with a stub nib, and the Leonardo is a medium nib that I am hoping to one day get a specialty nib grind on. The fascination for me for this pen, of course, is the ink window. I am going to ink this pen up in September. It's going to be part of my September currently ink. You may have seen this pen also in a different video, or at least in a short. Of course, it's a Twisby. It is currently filled with this Sailor Georgia ink. I've fallen hard for this ink. It's like a mossy, swampy green, and I like it. I like it a lot. So it's probably going to stick around for fall. This Twisby glows in the dark. So you're probably not going to see that since I'm in a well-lit space. But this is one of my favorite pickups from the Atlanta Pen Show, the Twisby Glow. I didn't buy a lot of stuff. I have so much stuff. So I did not buy a lot. I did buy these stickers though. Look at these little sushi stickers. So now I want to buy the Robert Oyster sushi ink. I'm not going to, but I want to. I don't need, I can't wait to use these. But again, unsealed, haven't even touched them since April. Actually found them stuck in a bag as I was getting everything out for the Atlanta Pen Show video that I'm currently doing. There were, of course, some stickers. These little stickers right here were so cute to me. I want to say that I got them off of Dave Dollar's table. I bought this this postcard. His wife, Judith, she designs these. I don't want to kind of speak out of turn. She wasn't there, and he just said that his wife, Judith, makes these. So I don't know if she draws them and then has them done up some kind of way. This was the only one I bought, but there was one with some sardines on it, and I don't know why I didn't get it. Always a wonderful, wonderful time with the Andarillium folks. If you ever go to a pen show, more than likely, if they are there, they have a testing station set up where you will be able to test their inks and get these little stickers that you can take home that kind of gives you an example of what the actual ink color is going to be. As you know, there's always tons of vendors at the shows. Happy hour pins and gifts. Adam was spectacular. He was super busy, so I didn't waste any of his time just kind of chatting or anything. I kind of viewed his table and listened to him pitch his items to others. But the next time I'm at a pen show, Adam, please believe that I am going to spend more time at your table. This was my first time encountering Little Hollow Customs. I didn't buy a pen, but they were such wonderful, wonderful people. I found these on a table somewhere. At this point, it's 4 months later, so I really don't remember. Oh, Olga. Olga is this little Cuban lady, and she's the person that I bought this Edson from. She was actually selling pens that were part of her personal collection, so she was able to get rid of one of her pens because I had gone to the show wanting a pen that was kind of moonstone inspired. And when I saw this, I really just had to have it. What else? Let's talk about the freebie table. I'm a firm believer that you can kind of overdo it at the freebie tables, but the ladies that were monitoring the Atlanta Pin Club table, they was like, take as much as you like. And I was like, okay. I don't own any red pins, so I feel like I hit the jackpot. I got 3 and didn't have to pay anything for them. So this, I imagine, is some type of Lamy. I don't know if it is or isn't. It may be. The nib has an F on it, so it's a fine nib. I think this paperclip thing is what's making me assume that it's Lamy. So if somebody's watching this and you think it's something else or it isn't Lamy, I don't want to credit them for it. I also feel like every time I see an actual Lamy pen, it says Lamy or something right here. And I don't see that anywhere on the pen. So I don't know if it is or isn't. But it was red, and I don't have a red pen, so I picked it up. This one, let's see if there's any type of markings on here. I can't tell. My eyesight is horrible. But again, it was a red pen that I have. And I didn't have one, so I took it. I'm going to give this one to my daughter. She'll probably see this video soon. And so, Samira, this is a birthday spoiler for you. But I'm going to give you this and this Virgo pin sleeve to celebrate you, sweetheart. So I hope you like it. And then I got this one right here, which is a platinum. This I need cartridges for. I'm sure I can probably eyedropper it, or however you guys say that. But it needs a cartridge, and I'll just pick up some. I think I have some, but they're Kaweco, so I don't know if they'll fit in there. But my son is going to get this one. He's new to fountain pens. He only has a Twisby. So I'm going to give him this platinum and give my daughter, whatever this other one is here. Another thing that was on the freebie table is this little ink vial thing. This has been so handy. Now, this is the one thing that has gotten plenty of use since April, because I use it now to fill up my pens. And then there were about 8 or 9 of these, but I have so many notebooks already, so I didn't get more than one just because they had so many, but I really don't need it. Now, I did buy this cover from Lighthouse Paper Company, and I also bought this little traveler's notebook. I have not written in it at all, mostly because I'm still writing in what I was already using when I started this. I just have always had kind of like a little notebook for my purse. I just didn't realize how important notebooks and notebook covers are in the world now. It was only $25, so I don't know if it's leather or what, but it is starting to kind of patina or stress itself a lot. I generally just keep a little rubber band or something around it to keep it closed. But I do have a preference that this little strappy thing is on my notebook. So this will probably be going away soon, just because I'm going to buy something that has the strap thing. This little rubber band just looks so tacky to me. As again, you guys, some of you have already seen me swatch this Sailor Georgia ink. It was on the freebie table, and I'm from Georgia, and it was the only one there, so I took it. I don't know. I've always been one for freebies and samples and things like that. So in case you haven't seen it before, it is a swampy green color. When I read the description of it, it's supposed to be indicative of the Okefenokee swamp here in Georgia. So it works for me. I like it. Crazy Allen. I think his sister's name is Anita. She always runs his table, and she sometimes sells partially used bottles of ink. I've spilt this, I've knocked it over. So there's far, far less in it than when I originally bought it. It was more than half full when she sold it to me for $5. But this is the Birmingham Pen Company Voltic Arc. I like it. Oh, this is just the perfect blue for me. I don't have a lot of blue inks. I've never been a blue inky kind of girl. I've always liked pink and purple and green and, any other thing but black and blue. So, but this jumped out at me. And to get it like for $5, I didn't care. As long as it kind of worked out, I liked it. So I hope this is coming through in my swatch. I would probably buy a bottle of this again if I came upon it somewhere. Pretty much because it's just a really great blue color. What I will say that I have found out about it is that when I tested this pen after the show, I don't believe that I washed it out well enough. So it did stain the pen. So if any of you are familiar with something that you can use to clean ink from under your pens, I would appreciate it because I would like to get rid of this blue out of the cap if I can. My son is in the military, so he really only uses black ink. So I bought this from, where did I buy this from? Who did I buy this from? Oh, Durrell Pens, his wife. I call her the ink lady. I think that's what everybody calls her. So this I'm not going to open, but it's the Colorverse Black Hole. She always gives a great deal. I think you can buy, mix and match like 3 of these for $20. I didn't need 3 of them, so I just generally, I bought this one because my son insists that he can only use black ink, so that's what I got for him. And then one that has been on my wish list for a while now is the Colorverse Giant Potato. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with this ink. I saw Drew. He used to be with Goulet. Now he's with Farney. He did a video one time, and this was one of the inks that he featured. And I just got hooked on it. I don't know if it was the name or it wasn't the color, because I don't think there's anything fascinating about the color for me at all. But, we all love Drew. So he's great at what he did at Goulet. And I wish him lots of success at Farney's also. But as you see, it's really just like a muted brown. I don't see anything special about it, but I had to have it. I had to have it. So now I do. And it'll get used up for fall. I'll find some type of pen or something to put it in. It's always a pleasure to see Tony with Feed Your Creativity. She likes a good stub nib, and I do too. So we have that in common. And really and truly, people, I think that really winds up everything that I got from the Atlanta Pen Show. Pardon me for taking like 4 months to get the video done, but I kind of really got to start using some of this stuff instead of just buying it and then letting it sit in boxes for months and months and months. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe. Turn on the notifications. Any questions about anything I have? Of course, as always, I'm very open to sharing my inks. So if anybody would like to swatch something besides the black hole, please reach out to me in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to share it all with someone. Have a good day.